Have you ever gotten in trouble for something at work that you didn't even know you could get in trouble for? Well, for me, that moment was over writing an email. One day at my ex-job, my ex-boss turned to me from across the room and said, "Young lady, come over here." And when he spoke to me with that kind of tone, I knew immediately, ooh, I must be in trouble for something. And I walked over and he said, "I've been looking through your email inbox and all the things that you've been writing to people outside the company. It's very unprofessional the way you write, and this is not acceptable." So this was my first job, my first entry-level job, working in an office that involved emailing other people. So I worked in an office before that, but I didn't have to email anyone outside the company. I only had to email my boss. In this job, I actually had to deal with outside suppliers and customers and such. You know, nobody ever taught me how to write professional emails. This is not something that they teach in college, and it appears that companies don't have training manuals. And I actually think this isn't really fair, because if you don't have a training manual in your company for how you want your employees to write your emails to people outside the company, then people don't know. I got in trouble for something that I didn't know I could get in trouble for because there were no pre-written guidelines. So it's one thing like you get in trouble after reading what the rules are. It's another like you kind of just get the rug pulled out from under you, like you can't do that. So it got me thinking, the company that I've started, before I even hire employees, I'm already like working on creating a training manual so that when they come in and I train them, they already know what their expectations are. And one of them is going to be on how their emails should be written, because it seems like a lot of companies don't even dictate how their emails should be written. Now, I'm not saying this to sound like a micromanager. I'm far from it. Like if somebody is really ambitious and hungry and driven, like, you know, I give people full reign. I think professional email writing skills and guidelines are something that small business owners, maybe even big companies, I don't know, because I've never worked in a big company, is something that like they tend to overlook. But it's actually extremely important, because this email communication, which is something that everybody does every single day, it basically forms the image that people have of your company. And if they think that the people in your company are rude because of the way that they write their emails, like you're gonna lose business. And the one example that I can think of is a few weeks ago, I wanted to get my hair permed. So you guys notice like my hair has always been straight. I wanted to get my hair permed because if I'm going to want to get in touch with people who have power in our society, people who are presidents, who are vice presidents, CEOs of banks, mortgage companies, and stuff like that, so that I can do business contracts with them. People who also have a net worth over $2 million, because I want those to be my clients and I'm going to do their financials. I'm going to have to really like step up my image, not only like my email, but my image overall has to be extremely professional. I wanted to perm my hair at a Japanese salon. But here in Boston, there's only one Japanese hair salon, so I didn't really have much choice. I went ahead and read the reviews. A lot of the reviewers said the owner of this hair salon is extremely rude, especially via email. And I thought to myself, well, maybe my experience is going to be different. It's not necessarily going to be just like theirs. So I went ahead and I emailed the owner for a consultation on what I wanted my hair to look like. And we did like 3 or 4 emails back and forth, and I just came to the conclusion like he's rude. I'm not going to pay $400 at this hair salon because I don't want to deal with someone who's rude and who doesn't want to like give me the best possible work on my hair. I went ahead and I looked for a Japanese hair salon in New York City, and when I went to New York City, I got my hair done there instead. I don't have to be stuck with the only Japanese hair salon in Boston. So I ended up paying $400 for this hair. When you really look at it, I asked them like how long this would last me before I need to do another perm as my hair grows out, and they said every 8 months. So if you really think about it, I'm gonna be spending $600 a year. Well, tough luck to that small business owner here in Boston who didn't manage to get my business. He's losing $600 a year just because he wrote rude emails. That's why I think learning how to write professional emails is extremely important, and also teaching your employees what professional emails should look like is also extremely important, because they are the people that form the image for your company. There's this book that I came across. It's called 33 Ways Not to Screw Up Your Business Emails. A lot of the information in today's video, I didn't just pull it up out of thin air. It came from reading this book. One of the best $5 you're going to spend. It's only $5 on the Kindle version on Amazon. So if you think that this video today is helpful, then you might want to check out that book, because that's where all my information basically came from. So let's get started on how you can write professional business emails. So the first thing that you need to do is you need to always start your emails with the salutation salutation. That's a greeting, hello or hi. The book recommends hello and hi. Those are the most commonly accepted. The word dear is just a bit too formal, and it also sounds to some people too endearing. And the word hey, the problem with the word hey is while it's casual, it can also be a little bit passive aggressive. So the thing with email is that it removes the tone of voice and it leaves you with only the word. So hey can also sound like hey Annie or versus hey Annie, that's not the effect you're trying to go for. You want the hey Annie, but you can't control how other people read your email. So the best thing to do is to just go with hello or hi. Those are the most commonly accepted ones. The next thing to do is to also include names. So make sure you also include the name after your greeting. If you do not know the name, if you're writing to a department or support team, right? You can write hello company name support team or hello company name department team. Something like that suggests that you're not talking to a specific individual, you're just talking to like a general department or something like that. But always make sure to put that for professionalism. So that's how you start your emails. But as you go down and you have an email chain, you don't always have to go like hello or hi. But you do still want to somehow weave in their first name into all your later emails after that first one. For example, thanks for your feedback, Ken. Thanks for getting back to me, Adam. Just weave it into that first sentence so that you don't always have to say hi or hello, but always still say the name in some way. And the third thing the book recommends is to always close your emails with a closing line. And the book has a list of their recommendations, which I'm going to put over here. And then you're going to follow your closing line with your email signature, which should have your full contact information so that the other person doesn't have to ask you for your contact information. Please do not use the default one that comes with your iPhone that says send from my iPhone. Please actually set it up and change it. People don't need to know that you sent it from your iPhone. So far, those 3 things on writing professional emails are things that pretty much every single working professional in our society should already know by now. But the book also gave helpful advice that I've never come across anywhere else before. Number 1. Don't write emails when you're feeling upset. So it's totally normal and human to feel upset, but you don't want that upsetness, your negativity to come across through your emails. So how do you avoid doing that? Well, you open up a blank Word document and start drafting up your email there. Don't send your email. Come back to your Word document in 24 hours, or if you're really pressed for time, maybe 2-3 hours instead of the next day, and look at your email or your draft with a fresh pair of eyes. Does it sound passive aggressive? Does it sound rude? If it does, you should probably revise your email. Do not send that email. You don't want to do it. And then the next thing is to leave the to field in your email blank until you're actually ready to send it. Because technology is just so instant, right? It allows us to type up something real fast and hit send. Look, if you're not ready to send your email, don't send it. If you're not thorough enough and your email is just missing information, like you're about to send that really passive aggressive email, just leave the to field blank. So that way you're not actually going to send it or hit send by accident unless it's you actually do put the to field in the very last moment. That's another way to avoid sending passive aggressive and rude emails to people that you don't want to do by accident. And then the third thing is remove all caps from your email. Don't capitalize stuff, right? Even if you're not shouting and you're just typing it in caps for emphasis, which I'm guilty of. I'm not shouting, but I've used the caps for emphasis. Just don't, because some people might view that as you're yelling at me. Okay, I'm sorry. Instead, you can use bold and italics together for the extra emphasis, or you can make use of larger fonts, but just please don't use the caps. Also think about how your email could be read. So I'm guilty of this because I just read this book I think 3 weeks ago, so I've just been a bit more conscious of how I personally write my business emails. I think I might have sent one where I didn't mean to come across as passive aggressive, but maybe on my coworker side, it could have been that way. What it was, I handle the payroll in our company. When someone is requesting holiday, they submit a form. I get a copy of that form request, but also the manager in charge of that worker. And somebody has submitted a form requesting a half day off, but I didn't see the manager respond to all of us. So I said, hey, was this approved or not? I didn't see your reply, so I'm not sure if you replied privately. But actually, when I look at the email again, I can see exactly how it could be misconstrued as like passive aggressive or angry or something like that, because I said, was this approved or not? And it could have been also read as, was this approved or not, right? It could have been read with that tone. The words or not, adding it to the end of your question can make it sound like, okay, did I do something wrong? I could have worded that better. I could have said, hey, was this approved or rejected? But because I was like just so quick and typing up my email, I was just like, was this approved or not? Don't be so quick in writing your emails because you can come across as unprofessional like me. I've learned from my mistakes, so I'm never gonna do that or not thing again. But yeah, don't do that too, guys. So these were the main pieces of advice that I walked away from on how to write my emails more professionally. I really think that these were really the most helpful, but if you really want to go beyond what I just talked about today, then you can check out the book, 33 Ways on How to Not Screw Up Your Business Emails. Another thing is, if you're a business owner and you do end up spending your time to read this book, I do recommend that you take the things that they talk about in this book and create your training manual so that your employees can follow them and write more professional emails. Or you can give a copy of the book to every single one of your employees and just say, hey, you gotta read this book. I think this is an extremely small detail to pay attention to, but I think it's important, especially if your clientele is like people who are very rich and wealthy. That's who you're catering to. The thing is, like, they have so much money that they can take their money elsewhere. They don't have to do business with you, right? So you wanna win them over, not just with the excellence of your service, but also with the excellence of your customer service. That's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up. Share with me a time that you wrote an unprofessional email, because I'm guilty of that. Okay, so I will see you guys next time in my next video. Be sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon for notifications when I upload new videos, and I will see you guys. Bye.